Chapter 20 The Kung Fu World A Man's Romance. The weather in early May was already slightly sultry. Staying indoors felt stuffy and oppressive. Rubbing his slightly dizzy forehead, Cheng Hao coughed lightly, opened his eyes, and sat up from the bed.
Brother Chen, you're awake. A surprised, even slightly odd, male voice sounded from inside the room. Suddenly hearing a stranger's voice, Cheng Hao stiffened, his gaze following the direction of the sound.
At the doorway stood a thin man wearing thick gold-rimmed glasses and an old-fashioned suit, bowing and scraping, his face plastered with a fawning smile. This person looks familiar. This thought flashed through Cheng Hao's mind. But he didn't ask, "Who are you?"
Instead, he calmly glanced at the bespectacled man and asked, "What is it?" Although his voice was somewhat hoarse, Cheng Hao breathed a sigh of relief. He could confirm that the voice was still his own, Brother Chen.
The small gangs in Shanghai have basically been cleaned up. The only one that can stand against our Axe Gang is the Crocodile Gang. They've been recruiting heavily lately, and it seems they intend to make a move against us, Brother Chen. Axe Gang.
Crocodile Gang, Four Eyes, rubbing his forehead, lost in thought for a moment. Cheng Hao was almost certain he was in the world of the movie Kung Fu, and his current identity, the leader of the Axe Gang in the film. Brother Chen, no rush.
I'm a bit hungry. Go get me something to eat. We can talk while we eat. Right away. Brother Chen, please wait. I'll get someone to prepare it immediately. After Four Eyes bowed and scurried off, Cheng Hao stood up,
Put on the suit from the coat rack beside the wooden bed, and while tying his tie, observed the room. The house was large and spacious. Besides the clean and tidy living room, there were 6 bedrooms, a fully equipped kitchen and bathroom.
All the furniture was made of rosewood, and various corners of the house were adorned with vases, paintings, and other antiques. It was clear that the previous Brother Chen had a penchant for ostentation. Walking to the mirror,
Cheng Hao carefully examined his reflection, his brow furrowing, a gaunt face, a sallow complexion, a thick mustache, and black stains on his teeth. The man in the mirror was identical to Brother Chen from the movie. My voice hastened.
But why has my appearance? Could it be soul transference? Muttering to himself, Cheng Hao carefully examined his body. Upon seeing a birthmark the size of a copper coin on his right arm, his expression relaxed slightly. It's definitely my body.
Even the birthmarks are the same. As he spoke, Cheng Hao focused his mind on his left eye. After feeling a warmth in his left eye, he looked into the mirror again. This time, the reflection in the mirror was no longer the appearance of Brother Chen in his eyes,
but his own. He wasn't exactly handsome, but his features were neat and refined, with a touch of boyish charm. His complexion was a little pale, however, and he looked somewhat anemic.
The only flaw was the appearance of several strands of white hair at his temples. This discovery caused Cheng Hao's usually calm expression to falter for the first time. Could the right eye's time travel ability be consuming his lifespan?
Sitting in the red wood chair, Cheng Hao carefully recalled the sequence of events and pondered his next move. He was originally just an ordinary person in China on Earth, with parents who were always busy with their careers and rarely saw him,
and a younger sister who was a boarding high school student. After graduating from a regular university, he found a clerical job in a third-tier city with a monthly salary of 3,000 yuan. Everything was unremarkable, if nothing unexpected had happened.
He would have likely followed the path of most people. Found a girl he wasn't averse to, started a family and lived a common, yet stable life. However, all that changed in a single, fateful incident. It was just a typical commute home.
He merely glanced at an antique-looking mirror on the roadside, and his life changed forever. That mysterious mirror, transforming into a golden light, vanished into his eyes. Initially, he felt nothing, but upon returning to his cramped apartment,
his eyes began to throb violently. The pain, as if extending to his very soul, caused him to collapse into unconsciousness. When he awoke, he found himself in a strange yet familiar cinematic world. Cheng Hao sat in this unfamiliar house,
recalling his past experiences while sorting through the information that had flooded his mind since his awakening. Only after completely processing this information did the dizziness in his head finally subside.
The amount of information wasn't large, it was quite simple. After his eyes fused with the mysterious, antique mirror, 2 abilities, or rather, 2 divine powers, manifested in his eyes. His left eye possessed a perspectival function.
Though that's not entirely accurate. Besides perspectival, his left eye also had the ability to see through illusions. A moment ago, Cheng Hao saw his true reflection in the mirror using this ability. As for the power of his right eye,
it's rather terrifying. It can traverse space-time and dimensions. So, my arrival in this movie world was likely an unconscious activation of my right eye's dimensional travel ability during my coma.
Perhaps some unforeseen circumstances occurred during the transit, resulting in my replacing Brother Chen's identity. After pondering the cause and effect, Cheng Hao stood up, focusing his mental energy on his right eye.
He wanted to test whether he could still use this space-time traversal ability. Golden light flickered in his right eye. As the golden light appeared, Countless multicolored specks materialized in Cheng Ha's vision within the previously empty void.
Amidst these countless specks, runes shimmering with mysterious glows emerged. Thousands upon thousands of these mysterious runes coalesced before Cheng Hao's right eye, eventually forming an ancient, shimmering seven-colored gate in the room's void.
Cheng Hao felt that with a mere thought, he could step through the gate and return to his original world. However, he didn't. Suppressing the urge to go home, he cancelled his right eye's ability, traversal consumed lifespan.
Having arrived in this cinematic world of martial arts, would it be a waste to return without doing anything, expending his lifespan for nothing? Martial arts, the Zhonghu, this was a man's romance, even if he could learn any true techniques here.
Simply witnessing the charm of martial arts firsthand would be a great experience. Chapter 20. A soft heart can't secure a strong stance. Brother Chen, the food and drinks are ready. Will you be eating outside or in the room?
While Cheng Hao pondered his next move, Xian, his face plastered with a fawning smile, knocked and entered. He bent slightly, head bowed, awaiting Cheng Hao's instructions. Let's eat inside. You stay too, join me for a drink, and we can chat about our next move.
Cheng Hao smiled, gesturing for Xian to sit. Though the man looked a bit sleazy, he was actually shrewd and capable. At this stage, Cheng Hao needed him to accomplish many things, and certain gestures of goodwill were necessary. Okay, Brother Chen.
Please have a seat. A man known for his impassivity bordering on neuroticism had asked him to join him for a meal. Xian was quite flattered, usually so articulate. He found himself stammering with excitement.
To be invited by the boss for a home-cooked meal was a privilege reserved for only the most trusted confidants. Especially someone like Brother Chen, a ruthless character who never dined alone with anyone. This was unprecedented. Beaming,
He rushed to Cheng Hao's side and pulled out a chair for him. Only after Cheng Hao sat down did Xian go to the door and, with a self-satisfied air, instructed someone outside, "Bring the food, oh, and an extra set of chopsticks and bowl."
Brother Chen is staying for dinner. Outside the door, a burly man in a black suit with his chest partially exposed gave Xian a surprised look before turning around and beckoning. Immediately,
Several men in black suits carefully carried dishes of food into Cheng Hao's house. Brother Chen, the food was prepared rather quickly, only 4 dishes and a soup. If you don't think it's enough, I'll ask the chef to prepare more.
once the food and drinks were on the table, with chopsticks and wine glasses neatly placed, Xian cautiously looked up at Cheng Hao. No need, this is plenty. Glancing at the food on the table, Cheng Hao waved his hand, gesturing for Xian to sit down.
Then looked towards the burly man outside. Oh, close the door today. I'm discussing important matters with my strategist. No one is allowed to enter without my permission. Brother Chen!
A burly man named Ahu glared at Xian with a serious expression before exiting and firmly closing the door behind him. Xian, how long have you been with me? After Ashu left, Cheng Hao did stand on ceremony, casually asking while eating his meal.
Ever since you founded the Axe Gang 2 years ago, I, Xian, have been by your side. My loyalty. I'm sure you understand. Boss Cheng, just tell me what's on your mind.
Xian carefully observed Cheng Ha's expression while cautiously refilling his wine glass. It was clear he was nervous about this first solo dinner with his boss. Then I won't beat around the bush.
What do you think we need to do for the Axe Gang to dominate the Shanghai underworld and become the ultimate authority? Cheng Hao was genuinely hungry, eating heartily without even lifting his head to speak. This slightly eased Xian's tense nerves. Cheng.
The situation is clear. The only thing hindering the Axe Gang's unification of Shanghai is the Crocodile Gang. Once we deal with them, the remaining small fry are insignificant. I know that, of course. Tell me, how do we deal with the Crocodile Gang?
Please don't be angry, but honestly this is quite difficult. You're the strategist, so be honest. Tell me exactly what you think. Cheng Hao put down his chopsticks, his deep gaze fixed on the man in the movie.
This bespectacled strategist was a bit of a buffoon, but in this real world, he seemed much more reserved, devoid of any humor. The bespectacled man swallowed hard, choosing his words carefully. Brother Chen, in terms of territory and manpower,
The Crocodile Gang is our equal, if not superior, and they recently purchased a batch of new weapons. If we really fight, we're at a disadvantage. Furthermore, he continued, Shanghai is now a Japanese colony.
while nominally under the puppet government of Wang Jingwei, everyone knows who the real masters are. Our previous skirmishes were small potatoes, and the Japanese military police probably didn't bother. But if 2 major gangs clash in the streets,
Attracting Japanese attention, then we'll be in serious trouble. The Japanese are indeed a problem. Cheng Hao drained his glass, rubbing his forehead. This was 1940s Shanghai, while the movie omitted any mention of the Japanese.
anyone familiar with this period of history knows that Shanghai was under Japanese occupation, governed by Wang Jingwei's puppet government. In this Shanghai, the once powerful Green Gang and Red Gang had long since crumbled.
Some refused to collaborate and left Shanghai, others remained. joining the puppet government and becoming collaborators. It was the lack of these two major gangs that allowed smaller organizations like the Axe Gang and the Crocodile Gang to rise.
Underground criminal organizations exist in every country, and the Japanese largely turn a blind eye as long as things don't get too out of hand. But as the bespectacled man said,
a large-scale clash between the Axe Gang and the Crocodile Gang would almost certainly attract the attention of the Japanese military police. It seems we'll have to follow the movie's plan and eliminate the Crocodile Gang's leader.
A large-scale conflict will draw the attention of the Japanese military, and that's a disaster. Xuanhuan sighed. He'd preferred a gang war that wiped out all these thugs. But the presence of the Japanese changed his plan.
An Axe Gang with complete control of Shanghai's underworld would be far more advantageous. Four Eyes, I remember. The boss of the Crocodile Gang recently got himself a mistress. A pretty one, wasn't she? That's right, Cheng Ji.
You want to? Four Eyes flashed a knowing look, a lecherous grin spreading across his face. I want your sister, Xuanhuan coldly snorted. Four Eyes, go contact the Chengdong police station. Have them find any excuse to lock that woman up for a day.
With the Crocodile Gang boss' lecherous nature, he'll definitely go get her himself. You understand what I mean? Understood, Cheng Ji. This is about catching the king to catch the thief. The Crocodile Gang boss usually stays cooped up in his territory.
Never coming out this time. As long as he leaves, we'll have our chance. Four Eyes, this strategist, was truly clever. He understood instantly. Xuanhuan nodded with satisfaction. Don't be stingy with the money, as long as this is done.
The whole of Shanghai will be ours. After Four Eyes left in high spirits, Xuanhuan called in gather the brothers, stand by for orders. Tonight, I'm going to wipe out the Crocodile Gang. Walking out of the room alongside Ahu,
Xuanhuan looked up at the dazzling midday sun, a hint of excitement in his heart. The feeling of being the boss wasn't so bad after all. Chapter 3D. Whoever you are, get out there and clean up the mess. The sun dipped below the horizon,
painting the sky a bloody crimson. On the deserted streets of East City, few pedestrians remained, the air thick with the cloying stench of blood. Eyes closed, seated in the car.
The agonizing moans of the Crocodile Gang's men being hacked to the ground reached Xuanhuan's ears. His body tensed, his breathing quickening. Despite his mental fortitude, raised in peace, witnessing a gang war firsthand was undeniably unsettling.
A few minutes later, Ahu approached the car door, bowing his head. Brother Chen, all the Crocodile Gang's men are dealt with. The brothers have sealed off both ends of East City Street. This operation is guaranteed to be a success. Xuanhuan nodded.
Opening his eyes, his peripheral vision caught sight of a dozen bodies sprawled in pools of blood. He gestured forward. Without further instruction from Xuanhuan, the car slowly moved forward, followed closely by a throng of Axe Gang members.
Their axes gleaming menacingly. As the car inched closer to the East City police station, a roar, laced with both anger and a hint of smug satisfaction, reached Xuanhuan's ears. Who else is there? Such a beautiful woman.
And for spitting on the ground, you arrest her. Is there no justice? Is there no law? Hearing this familiar dialogue, Xuanhuan couldn't help but chuckle. His laughter was echoed by Four Eyes, the strategist sitting beside him. That old geezer, a gang leader.
Actually went to the police station to preach the law. Serves him right for what's coming tonight. Yeah, a hypocrite like that. Four Eyes, you'll give him a ride later, alright? Ah yes, Brother Cheng. Four Eyes' face was bitter.
But he dared not refuse Xuanhuan's request. I wouldn't go into the movie business for anything. There's nobody at the cinema on a Sunday. The police station doors swung open, and the fiercely imposing Crocodile Gang leader,
swaggering with his arm around his glamorous mistress, emerged. He glanced at the deserted cinema across the street, a sneer playing on his lips. But as he reached the middle of the street, he realized his car was gone. Instantly sensing something was wrong,
he turned to go back to the police station. Bang, bang, bang. The sound of the doors closing echoed, followed by the closing of windows inside the station, completely extinguishing the Crocodile Gang leader's hopes of returning. Tap, 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 tap.
The rhythmic sound of polished shoes on the pavement approached. The dense, steady rhythm conveyed, even to the most obtuse, that the approaching number of people was terrifyingly large. A sea of people surged forward, blocking both sides of the street,
completely cutting off the Crocodile Gang leader and his companions' escape route. Xuanhuan stepped out of the sedan, slowly walking forward surrounded by his entourage. Honestly, he rather enjoyed this feeling of being surrounded by a throng of followers.
Call someone. The Crocodile Gang's boss, his face etched with anxiety, hurriedly instructed his men. Actually, he didn't need to. His bodyguards had already pulled out signal flares and, without hesitation, fired them into the sky as a distress signal.
That's not necessary. While you were assaulting the police, we took care of your men. Looking at the Crocodile Gang's boss, who bore a striking resemblance to Director Feng, Xuanhuan gently raised his hand and pointed. Da-da, da.
The roar of gunfire erupted. With a single sweep of their fire, Cheng Hao's flanking gunmen brought down the crocodile gang members. Except for the strikingly beautiful woman, no one could stand Xiaogang. How do you feel? Shot in the leg.
The crocodile gang leader lay on the ground, barely lifting his head to look at Cheng Hao as he approached. He couldn't bother to wonder why Cheng Hao called him Xiaogang. His face was a mask of desperate pleading. Wait, do you remember?
I even treated you to a meal. Cheng Hao chuckled, a hint of sarcasm on his face. He glanced at Four Eyes beside him and handed him an axe. Fork Eyes, I'm a sentimental guy. You do the honors. Yes, brother Chen. Four Eyes took a deep breath, closed his eyes,
and without aiming, wildly swung the axe at the crocodile gang leader's body until he was exhausted. Gasping for air, he threw the axe aside and crouched down, retching. Brother Chen, what do we do with this woman? Seeing the crocodile gang leader dead,
A Hu approached Cheng Hao, glanced at the leader who was now looking up at the sky, and quietly asked. Cheng Hao turned, glanced at the alluring woman crouching on the ground, her spirit broken. His gaze lingered on her voluptuous figure. She's certainly pretty,
but I don't like second-hand goods. She's yours. With his ability to see through people, Cheng Hao simply wasn't interested in a woman who had clearly been around the block, no matter how attractive. Patting A Hu on the shoulder,
Cheng Hao turned and shouted to Four Eyes, who was still retching on the ground. Dead or alive, get over here! Coming! Brother Chen! Wiping his mouth, Four Eyes scrambled to his feet, bowing and scraping as he approached Cheng Hao.
The crocodile gang is now leaderless. You'll take over. I'm giving you one night after tomorrow. I don't want to hear the name crocodile gang ever again, remember? Don't worry, Brother Chen. The crocodile gang is nothing but a scattered mess now.
Without a leader to command them, it'll be easy to pick them off one by one. Brother Chen, just wait for my good news! After Four Eyes swaggered off with his large group of subordinates, Cheng Hao glanced at Ah Hu. Take a few brothers with you.
If he has any ulterior motives, kill him. Ah Hu nodded without speaking, beckoning a few gunmen and striding off in the direction Four Eyes and his men had gone. Although he knew Four Eyes probably didn't have the guts to rebel, it's better to be safe than sorry.
Compared to the scheming Fork Eyes, the simple, trigger-happy Ah Hu was far more reliable. Glancing calmly at the bright streetlights lining the streets, Cheng Hao was in a good mood. With the crocodile gang dealt with, the main plot was about to begin.
Ever since arriving in this world, Cheng Hao had a nagging idea of rapidly becoming a peerless expert. However, the feasibility of this idea would only be determined after meeting the protagonist of this plane of existence. Ah Zing, exhaling softly.
Cheng Hao walked to the car, and as he was about to get in, he seemed to suddenly remember something amusing. He turned around and shouted towards the police station. Time to clean house, Chapter 4 Arching! Sion didn't disappoint her.
The takeover of the crocodile gang's territory proceeded almost without a hitch, with minimal losses. Aside from a few die-hard crocodile gang members, the majority were absorbed into the Axe Gang.
The Axe Gang headquarters was located on the top floor of a nightclub, the entire top floor built to resemble a palace, its glittering opulence almost blinding. Cheng Hao sat majestically on the throne at the head,
listening to Xian excitedly report on the previous night's spoils. Glancing at the rows of gold, silver, jewels, and weapons filling the hall, Cheng Hao pondered for a moment before making a decision. Xian, you arrange it.
Half of the wealth will be distributed among the brothers. The families of fallen brothers will receive double. Anyone who dares to embezzle will be dealt with according to the rules for betraying the gang. Yes, Chen Ji. Xian looked deeply at Cheng Hao,
nodding respectfully. Meanwhile, the Axe Gang underlings who had been silently waiting on either side of the palace, their eyes now burning with fervor upon hearing Cheng Hao's decision, they looked at Cheng Hao with fervent adoration,
like devotees gazing upon their god. Long live Brother Chen! Long live Brother Chen! The chant of Long live Brother Chen echoed throughout the hall, its source unknown, though Cheng Hao considered himself merely a transient visitor in this world.
The feeling of being fervently worshipped was undeniably gratifying. After this incident, he was confident that even if high-ranking members like Xian or A Hu attempted rebellion, no brother would follow them. At this moment,
Cheng Hao truly held the Axe Gang in his grasp. Over the next few days, Cheng Hao rarely went out. A Hu, Xian, and other high-ranking members managed the gang's affairs. He, meanwhile, had a box of golden needles crafted and spent his days with a medical tech,
using the descriptions of meridians and acupoints to occasionally prick himself. During these days, Cheng Hao used his X-ray vision to repeatedly observe his internal condition. He confirmed that his body,
perhaps due to the subtle influence of the mysterious ancient mirror, had undergone a transformation, becoming vastly different from that of an ordinary person. His blood energy was extremely vigorous. Each time he observed his body,
Cheng Hao could clearly feel the immense power surging within him. However, this force was locked within his meridians, each acupoint like an unyielding rock sealing them. To unleash this power,
external stimulation of the acupoints was necessary to open the meridians, but the acupoints in the human body were countless. without the correct method. Rashly stimulating them could cause the surging blood energy to wreak havoc on Cheng Hao's internal organs.
Cheng Hao dared not risk it. These days, he had only been using the golden needles to lightly prick the various acupoints, merely to familiarize himself with their locations, never daring to unleash the immense power within. In the movie, Sing,
Possessing a naturally gifted martial arts aptitude, underwent a transformative change after being brutally beaten by the fire cloud evil god, unlocking his Rendu 2 channels. I wonder if my constitution is similar.
This was the accelerated cultivation method Cheng Hao conceived after discovering his own physique. Though risky, it wasn't entirely impossible. Before attempting such a gamble, however, he needed to carefully observe Sing's physique.
Even studying the physical changes Sing experienced after his beating by the fire cloud evil god, without Sing as a test subject, he felt uncertain. According to the plot, Sing should be nearly at the Axe Gang headquarters, right?
After silently calculating the time, Cheng Hao put down his golden needles and medical texts, adjusted his sleeves, and left the room, heading directly towards the Axe Gang headquarters main hall. Brother Chen, as soon as he entered the hall,
4 eyes rushed over. Cheng Hao nodded, his peripheral vision catching sight of 2 young men lying beaten on the ground. With a single glance, he recognized them, the protagonist Sing and his goofy sidekick. He said nothing,
merely giving 4 eyes a questioning look. Brother Chen, who was crippled? The culprits who caused this incident are these 2 who pretended to be members of our Axe Gang. What should we do with them? Who was crippled? And what were you doing?
Cheng Hao's gaze turned cold as he looked at 4 eyes. Brother Chen, after receiving IHA's signal, I immediately dispatched 200 brothers to provide support. However, 3 martial arts masters were hidden within the pig cage village.
We were no match for them and had to retreat with Ahu. All right, I understand. Cheng Hao nodded indifferently. His initial purpose in this world was to observe the martial arts masters, hoping to learn a trick or 2.
But after discovering his unique constitution, his plans changed. He was no longer interested in how powerful those martial arts masters were.
His primary concern now was to witness firsthand the physical changes in Xing after being brutally beaten by Fire Cloud Evil God. The moment he entered, he had already used his X-ray vision to examine Xing's physique.
This guy was indeed a martial arts prodigy, with a vast amount of energy stored in his meridians and internal organs. Similar to his own situation, only it was sealed within his meridians and could not be channeled.
The only difference between Cheng Hao and Xing was that Cheng Hao's meridians stored immense qi and blood energy, while Xing's meridians contained formless, colorless energy similar to internal force. Despite the differences,
Cheng Hao felt a surge of excitement. While he could determine if Xing's internal force was innate due to his constitution or accumulated from practicing the Buddha's palm, it didn't matter.
The important thing was that he and Xing both possessed immense power within them. If Xing could be reborn, Cheng Hao might be able to as well. Boss Chen, we really wanted to join the Axe Gang. That's why we pretended. Please give us a chance, okay?
Hearing the Axe Gang leader enter, Ashk scrambled to his feet, ignoring the blood on his face, and repeatedly pleaded with Cheng Hao. Want to join the Axe Gang? Cheng Hao chuckled. Yes, Boss Chen, please give us a chance. Notin.
But you'll have to tell me what skills or special abilities you possess first. Does knowing how to pick locks count? Almost every lock in Shanghai, I can open. Cheng Hao nodded,
beckoning to one of his underlings to take the 2 of them to get some new clothes and a good meal before bringing them back. Boss Cheng, are you really going to let these 2 join the Axe Gang? After Xing and the other one left, Xian asked, puzzled.
Cheng Hao rubbed his temples, sat on his throne, thought for a moment, and then surveyed everyone present. Do you know who the #1 assassin in the martial arts world is? Everyone looked bewildered. Xian, the strategist,
pushed up his glasses and tentatively asked, Boss Cheng, is it the blind duo, Heaven's Remains and Earth's Deficiencies? No. Cheng Hao shook his head. Those 2 are only the publicly known top assassin.
The true #1 assassin is the legendary ultimate killer, the Fire Cloud Evil God. This Fire Cloud Evil God is currently imprisoned in the deepest part of the Abnormal Human Research Center in the British Concession. After Xing returns, take him there.
Open the cage and bring the Fire Cloud Evil God back. Chapter 50. Hu Yin Shi Shen, the Bullet Catcher, in the spacious headquarters hall of the Axe Gang.
Numerous Axe Gang underlings in suits stood alertly around the perimeter, their gazes fixed intently on the bald, elderly man lounging lazily in a chair at the center of the hall. The old man wore black-rimmed glasses,
a white sleeveless shirt paired with matching loose-fitting trousers, and a pair of slippers commonly seen in bathhouses. He sat with his legs crossed, looking as if he hadn't slept properly, although he appeared to be an unremarkable old man.
Cheng Hao dared not underestimate him in the slightest. His left eye, enhanced by his abilities, revealed that the old man's Ren and Du meridians were fully opened, and his Danshin held an internal energy reserve like a small lake.
constantly nourishing every part of his body. This was a human-shaped beast. When he restrained his aura, he was indistinguishable from an ordinary person. But when he unleashed his full power, Cheng Hao knew this was a walking killing machine,
capable of causing terrifying destruction wherever he went. Truly the legendary ultimate assassin. Huyan Shishen, Cheng Hao said, approaching with a serious expression. He certainly lives up to his reputation? Mere reputation, mere reputation.
The old man chuckled. Huyan Shishen, having encountered no worthy opponent, appeared languid and relaxed like a kindly old neighbor, his laughter humble and self-deprecating. Shishen, we've invited you here to kill a few people. Name your price.
Cheng Hao said, name my price. I've killed many people, but I wanted to find someone who could defeat me. I found no one who could, so I hid away to find some peace and quiet. If I had an opponent, I would have come out long ago. Fire Cloud Evil God yawned,
appearing uninterested in everything before him. Tell you what, he said, if there are any peerless masters, I'll kill them for free, one by one. Are there any? Yes, truly peerless masters, but those two are too strong. We don't know how powerful you are.
Evil God, could you show us a little something? Let us witness your might. Cheng Hao was eager to witness firsthand Fire Cloud Evil God's classic scene of catching bullets with his bare hands. For a modern man, this scene, like something from science fiction,
was simply unbelievable without seeing it with his own eyes. Show a little something. You pathetic waste of space are not worthy of seeing me move. As he spoke, Fire Cloud Evil God reached out and lightly pinched at an axe gang underling behind him.
The man's pistol instantly appeared in his hand. Under the watchful eyes of everyone present, he pointed the gun at his own head. Has here, Cheng Hao muttered to himself,
a white light emanating from his left eye as he stared intently at Fire Cloud Evil God in the center of the hall. Bang! A gunshot rang out. In Cheng Hao's eyes, the bullet ejected from the barrel, like a silver thunderbolt,
instantly shooting towards Fire Cloud Evil God's ear. Screech. Simultaneously, a sharp screech of metal on metal echoed. In Cheng Hao's vision, Fire Cloud Evil God's left hand created a sonic boom, and as the bullet neared his ear,
2 fingers instantly clamped down on it. Fire Cloud Evil God's 2 fingers, far from appearing flesh and blood, were like 2 bars of tempered steel, holding the bullet firmly. At the same time, an invisible energy emanated from his fingers,
forming a cage-like structure that completely imprisoned the bullet, instantly dissipating its near-sonic impact force. Cheng Hao was beyond speechless with astonishment. The scene before him was far more shocking than anything he'd ever seen in a movie.
That terrifying power transcended the boundaries of human comprehension. Modern handgun bullets approach the speed of sound but haven't quite reached it. Yet, in Cheng Hao's eyes, Huyan Shishen's movements were undeniably supersonic.
The terrifying sonic boom was irrefutable proof. The ultimate martial art is not invincibility, but speed. Now, can you tell me where those 2 masters are? Casually tossing the bullet to the ground, Huyan Shishen's gaze locked onto Cheng Hao.
Like a primordial beast poised to strike, the evil god should have heard of their names. They are Yang Go and Xiaolong Nu, known throughout the martial arts world as the Divine Condor Couple, Cheng Hao said, taking a deep breath.
Upon hearing the name Divine Condor Couple, Huyan Shishen's body trembled slightly, the thrill of the hunt. A cruel, ferocious smile spread across his face. Zhulong Village, bang! The moment Cheng Hao finished speaking,
Huyan Shishen shot up like a cannonball, bursting through the temple roof with an invisible force and disappearing into the night. Standing atop the shattered roof, Huyan Shishen located Zhulong Village without hesitation. He leaped away,
like a giant frog disappearing into the darkness in a few bounds. Brother Chen, Cheng Hao raised a hand and instructed Xian. Take 200 men and head to Zhulong Village immediately. Obey the evil god's commands without question. Yes, Brother Chen.
Xian nodded, then pointed to several axe gang hall leaders. You, and you, bring your men and come with me. Wait, take A Sing too. Just as Xian was assembling his men to leave, Cheng Hao called out, reminding him not to forget A Sing.
Xian glanced deeply at Cheng Hao, then at A Sing, who stood beside them looking bewildered. He nodded subtly. He understood. Brother Chen intended to use A Sing as cannon fodder. After Xian and the others left, Cheng Hao breathed a sigh of relief.
The success or failure of his plan to become a top-tier martial artist in record time depended on what happened next. He didn't go to Zhulong Village this time, according to the plot.
Brother Chen in the movie was killed with a single slap from Huyan Shishen after the latter's confrontation with the Condor heroes. While Brother Chen's death was primarily due to his talkativeness, Cheng Hao chose not to go along for safety's sake.
He had been preparing for this day for a long time. He had tested the X-ray vision in his left eye many times. As long as he focused his attention completely, he could see through obstacles and into Zhulong Village from his room, guarded by a squad of gunmen.
Cheng Hao arrived at his residence, his expression serious as he addressed his subordinates. No one is allowed to enter before I come out. Anyone who dares to force their way in will be shot on the spot. Yes, Brother Chen. Taking a deep breath,
Cheng Hao entered the room, carefully closing the door behind him. he picked up a box of golden needles from the table, then sat cross-legged on the bed. Without hesitation, he focused his mind entirely on his left eye, gazing intently toward Julong village.
The audiobook for chapters 1 to 5 of this issue has concluded. Subscribe to this channel, turn on the notification bell, share, and leave your comments. I will continue to update subsequent content.